So let me present to you the topic that we're gonna tackle about. It's all about the cone of experiences and Bronfenbrenner's ecological theory. First was the cone of experiences. So what is the cone of experiences? It is a visual model that categorizes different learning experiences based on their level of concreteness and abstraction. They believe that learning is most effective when it is grounded in direct, hands-on experiences and gradually progresses towards more abstract concept. So before that, who is Dale? Edgar Dale was born in 1900. In his first edition of Audiovisual Methods in Teaching, in 1946, Dale introduced the cone of experience. Edgar Dale Cone of Experience, a visual representation of learning. It helps L&D professional to plan learning experiences that take advantage of the most effective learning environment. It showcases how we can variety of materials and methods to maximize learning experiences. So, the cone of experience is learning model introduced by Edgar Dale that illustrate the concreteness level of learning experiences based on the medium. It takes the shape of an inverted cone, which shows the abstract learning experiences at the peak and progresses into the most concrete experiences down to the base. Despite its shape, it's not meant to be basis of what mediums are at least or most effective. Its level are not arranged in a hierarchy. Dale emphasizes that the cone is merely a visual analogy of the progression of abstract learning experiences to concrete ones. Similarly, it represents that the more concrete the learning experiences are, the more senses are involved: seeing, hearing, tasting, touching, and feeling. So, what is the purpose of this cone of experiences? The main purpose of this experience is to help you identify and select the right audiovisual mediums and resources for your training initiatives. It shows progression of learning experiences from the concrete to the abstract. Now, let's have a look at the 11 levels of Dale's authentic cone of experience. So first was the direct purposeful experiences. These are first-hand, hands-on experiences where learners actively engage with the subject matter. This could involve doing, creating, and experiencing something directly. So the example of this one is the a student learning to bake by actually baking a cake is a hands-on cooking class. Why? So this stage involved first-hand experiences where learners actively participate in the learning process. It is the most effective way to learn in all engages system. So the second one was the contrived experiences. So this one naman is this involves stimulating real-world experiences using models, mocked up, or demonstration. So I have also examples for this one. A student learning about different types of plants by visiting a botanical garden or greenhouse. This stage involves simulated or reconstructed experiences that are designed to mimic real-life situations. These experiences are often used when direct experiences are not feasible or practicable. So the third one was the dramatized experiences. Came from the word itself, drama. This stage involves role-playing, acting out scenarios of reenacting event or enhances understanding. I know some of you are already experienced this one kasi it came from the word itself, drama nga, diba? Way back in high school, may mga part tayo na or even college now na may part tayo na nagpa-participate when it comes to role-playing. So, my example for this one is a student is participating in a role-playing, just like what I've said, activity where they act out of, just like for example, historical event or a scientific experiment. This stage involves learning, acting out, or reenacting events or concepts to gain deeper understanding. It allows learners to experience the emotions and perspective of the character involved. The fourth one was the demonstration. I know some of you already know this as a future educator lang lately na gagawa natin siya sa other natin subject, but demonstration is a visual explanation of concept, processes or skills using visual aid videos or other media. Just like for example, a teacher demonstrating how to solve a math problem on the whiteboard or using a projector to show a science experiment. This stage involves visual explanation of concept, just like what I've said about the demonstration. Process of using visual like diagrams, pictures, or videos. It helps learner visualize abstract ideas and how things work. Fifth one was the study trips, excursions of field trips to real-world locations relevant to the subject matter. Just like for example, a class trip to museum, just like what other student experiencing historical site or a local farm to observe and learn about specific topic. This stage involve excursions or visits to places that are not available in the classroom setting. It provides learner with a real-world context and allows them to experience the topic in the first hand. Then the sixth one was the exhibits. Display objects attracts a model that provide a visual representation of concept. Just like for example, visiting a science museum and historical exhibit to learn about different scientific discoveries of historical events. I know some of you already experience about it also. This stage involves display or presentations that showcase object, models, or artifacts related to a specific topic. It provides learner with visual and tactical experiences and helps them understand the context of information.
So, ano nga ba ang television and motion pictures? Based sa ating PowerPoint, it is a visual and auditory media that present information in a dynamic and engaging way. But in my own opinion, this level all about learning videos and animation, where both visual and auditory senses are used, and they provide interesting customization options to create a deliberate learning experience. So now, let's proceed to still pictures, recordings, and radio. It is visual and auditory media that provide a static representation of information. But in my own opinion, still pictures, recordings, and radio is simply refers to photographs and audio recording like podcast. This level also debunks the misconception that auditory media is better than visual media, since photos and audio that put together at the same time. So now, let's discuss visual symbol. It is abstract representation of information using charts, graphs, maps, or diagrams, but also they are used to help to make concept easier for our brains to understand and interpret concept. And lastly, let's discuss verbal symbol. Verbal symbol is the most abstract level, relying on words, language, and written text to convey meaning. And it's located at the peak of the cone, which means that this is the most abstract learning experience, as they don't give any visual representation of a subject, and they can be used to define experiences, people, relationships, feelings, and thoughts. So now, let me give you another information. Let's discuss the difference between visual symbol and verbal symbol. Visual symbol is a representation of an idea, object, or concept. But visual symbol can be simple or complex, and their meaning can vary depending on culture and context. So let's proceed to verbal symbol. It is simple because it is a word or a text that represent a meaning or idea.
let's talk about the strengths and limitations of the cone of experience. First is the oversimplification. The cone is often misinterpreted as a rigid hierarchy, suggesting that experiences at the bottom are inherently better than those at the top. But of course, we all know that little things do matter because we will not have $1 if we don't have penny. Next is the lack of empirical support. The cone is not based on rigorous scientific research, and the retention percentages associated with it are often disputed. Since it is not scientifically and empirically supported, many people think that this cone of experience are meaningless to talk with or to be a topic of certain communication. The limit is the cone focuses primarily on sensory experiences and does not adequately address cognitive processes, social interaction, or emotional factors that influence learning. Since these subtopic are all part of our influence of learning, this cone of experience limit our knowledge in learning or how to understand the learning of a certain people or a student.